What's good, everybody? It's full-time trip. We're back in the building. Everton won, Arsenal won at our last game at Goodison Park. Yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hope you're all doing very well this week. I want to make this one kind of shorter and sweeter because, again, I don't know if you saw the preview, but basically, this is Madrid prep, man. I'm gonna be real. As much as he wants to soup it up or whatever, it's Madrid prep. We got a lot of tiered minutes and stuff going on. Just a very I think NBC was quoting it as Moisian game. It was a pretty Moisian game, and we should have had chances to win. I think given the conditions that weren't tampered with due to the incompetence of certain factors I'm going to mention later, it would have been a 1-0 to the Arsenal in my opinion, because nothing else much was going on. But of course, interventions happen because that's what it is, but we'll get to that down the line. But yeah, again, just a pretty solid again counter-attacking goal, straight line run from Sterling. Trossard gets a ball on the left-hand side of the box, buries it. And then it seems to be cruising, but then a penalty decision, I believe, early in the second half, like the first 4 or 5 minutes, and then Ndiaye squares that one away, and that's 1-1. But general approach to the game, I want to talk about from a general perspective a couple of things. I don't want to go player by player too much. I just want to keep this a little bit shorter. But one of the things that I want to make very clear is we shouldn't turn up our nose at certain things. A lot of things, to be honest. I'm going to be very honest, man. Looking at how many transitions that we force, how many errors that we create for the opposite, that the opposition makes, you know, how many errors we force. Thinking about how many situations that we have on the break. I do not want anyone who watched that game today to ever turn up their nose at somebody like Victor Gyökeres. Not a singular person, not a one of you, not one of you should be saying, he's not our speed. If you're seeing these transitions, how many that we created in the first half, ridiculous amounts of errors, and we're going straight line running, and we can't generate nothing, barely even a shot off of those things. We can't convert not even a shot, let alone a goal. If you're seeing these situations happen time and time again, not just in this game, but across the season, this is crying out for somebody that's very dynamic and is very much gonna push the issue and be lethal in these situations. If you have a clearing, you have to take it. And right now, our team is not equipped to fully take those chances. They're not. We don't have Havertz that has some running power and can find space to run into. We don't have Saka that was starting the game and again wasn't able to fully exploit and run down and put in a killer pass. Martinelli wasn't on. He's not in the best of form this season anyways. So we have to find that person who is going to provide that bite in transition, because look at how many times that we forced an error and it was like a 2v2, a 3v2 in our favor, and we're just running straight down the line and somebody miscues a pass, somebody slows down the tempo, they're not able to carry it themselves. We need that impetus. So somebody like a Victor Gyökeres, all day, give me that, please. Him by himself can really do so many good things and add so much to our attack in those situations. We got to make the simple things simple. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy, but we have to make the simple things simple. Having that consistent quality right there at the ready when situations break is so needed. And right now it's not happening. You know what I mean? I'm not being angry. I'm just saying, for people that I've seen online, they're saying, oh man, Gyökeres, I don't know if he's gonna, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if the, you know, certain things is not a little tight or whatever, blah, blah, blah. This guy is ready to be an absolute tyrant on breaks in a situation that we're very, and again, against Everton, who are normally blocking up and stuff like that, and sometimes they may press a little bit higher, but in those little situations that we create actually very often, somebody like him is so valuable. So I'm saying, don't turn your nose up at that. But just to look through the rest of the game a little bit. Honestly, I thought it was pretty bog standard. It wasn't our, again, ideal lineups, obviously. Me personally, one of the things that I was watching for intently was Kiwior's performance. And I'm gonna be real, I thought Kiwior was okay. I thought Kiwior was all right. I thought he did actually very well. I will say this. Everton is not going to, I mean, duh, but Everton's not going to be the same game as Real Madrid. Again, there's going to be a lot more flying at him than he can just react to from a more lax standpoint. But there will be some periods where, again, he's going to be in a bit more sedentary position and not have too much to shuffle across. And he's going to be able to see the game that's in front of him that's happening. And for me, that's when Kiwior plays his best. That's when Kiwior is at his best. When the game is in front of him, when he can see things happening at a wider range and he doesn't have to shuffle too much and make snap decisions. That's where I think he thrives, where he has a bit more time to assess and then attack accordingly. That's where I think he does great work. And I thought he was very great, again, in defensive moments when we were pinned back a little bit and he was able to put himself in the line for some really great blocks. And I thought, again, I think my favorite attribute about him, his passing range, is very underrated. Very, very underrated. I saw some passes that he made into space for Trossard. I don't know if he made some passes for Martinelli. I think he might have made one, but mostly it was in the first half that I saw. There were some great ping passes that I think can be very advantageous going forward, especially in these two legs versus Real Madrid. That can be a godsend of a pass. And again, something that Gabriel does normally commit to more often than not across the season when he has Martinelli with him. That can be very advantageous. So I liked his performance. I hope we have the right pairings around him. And yeah, listen, at this point, again, ideally, I wouldn't want him to start. You know what I'm saying? Just to be very honest. But he's an Arsenal player in an Arsenal shirt. They're going to put faith behind him to start that game with the Emirates on Tuesday. So I got to do the same. It is what it is. And we all should do the same and just put good energy behind that. So that's all it is on that. It was very good to see Ben White back. It was very good to see Timber back. They look like they're in better form. From White's perspective, the overlaps look sharp. Although all of them weren't again fully like received, or he didn't get service from those overlaps or on those overlaps. I thought those were good. I thought his sprints were very, very, very good. I thought like some of the defensive sprints and covering distances were very good. 60 solid minutes. Didn't get spun too much in my opinion. I thought he was good there. Timber's minutes, again, just managed them pretty well. I didn't see too much wrong with that. Ethan, I thought he had a pretty solid performance. It was okay. It wasn't great, honestly. I thought there was some disconnection again in the transition. Just trying to find his way around White. I think that was the thing that stood out the most to me. That his connection with Ben White and him committing more to, again, servicing the overlap a little bit more, trying to find his way into central spaces. I just thought it was a little bit here and there. It wasn't as committed as I've seen Ethan in other games. So there's that to, potentially tinker with. Yeah, just all around, it is what it was, man. I thought Saliba was again, like, strong. I thought Saliba was at his usual. Again, probably wasn't much to deal with in certain regards. I thought he dealt with Beto well. And there wasn't too much craziness on that side. It was good seeing, again, everybody else just get minutes. Everybody else get some minutes. Saka got a half. Martinelli got a half. Martinelli, let me stop for a second. Oh my gosh, I just remembered. Martinelli, bruh. Is it just because Saka's back? Was it because of the engagement, brother? Was you locked in? If you locked in, just let me know, bro, so I can be excited. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I'll be real. Martinelli has been on a very, very positive uptrend over these past couple of games. The level of poise and movement I'm seeing from him is something that is so refreshing based on this season and so welcome. Again, the sharpness and just it just felt like even flow, bruh. It just felt like, again, he sees the picture in his head. He's gonna start. He doesn't stop too much. And over that half that he was playing, he got a lot more comfortable in the speed of his decisions. Like, again, there was again at the beginning, again, he's like kind of dribbling, kind of does like little side to side shuffling a little bit to the left hand side of a defender, and eventually he just started going. He started going and drifting past players and again finding his way centrally. And I'm really encouraged by that. Again, his crossing, again, not all the deliveries were solid, but again, the ability to get those off and not just all go for corners. You know what I'm saying? Like, just not have low crosses. I thought those were very good. I think there was I don't know if it was his ball in that Odegaard should have finished, or maybe it was Trossard that drifted over. But I think he was part of that play where the ball went into Odegaard for a cutback and Odegaard scuffed that. But the play I've been seeing from Martinelli has been fantastic, and it's been very, very welcome. The reverse pass he did to Tierney at the end of the game, where very, very, like, again, he just seems aware, he seems alert, he seems very astute to a lot of these situations. And I think in a game that can provide some isolated moments for him, that's going to be really key. And he's got to be very, very brave and unafraid of drifting into the middle, which I've seen him been doing, connecting with the middle and central spaces and finding his way in however he can, not just relegating himself to the right, winning the corner and going on. That was very endearing for Tuesday. I'm glad I saw that. And yeah, nobody died. You know what I mean? Nobody lost fitness to my knowledge. I think there was Rice that went down for a couple of seconds with his ankle, but I hope that's just a little niggle. But yeah, listen, I ain't gonna lie. The league, these refs, man. How many times are we gonna sit here and talk about these refs? I don't even want to talk about them for too long, but come on, man. Come on, son. Really? The fact that they've already built a reputation around Miles Lewis-Skelly when he literally didn't commit any major foul inside the box. He already was falling. Like, come on. Like, the level of incompetence is so insane. And again, my problem is we're seeing all this real time where we get screwed over by crazy reffing decisions. We get screwed over by these little things that add up that we might not even be privy to all the time. Again, all the other stuff that's irrespective of referees, like the injury records and whatever. The red card decisions, which definitely is in the realm of that. Like, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And having to deal with that is a pain in the ass. And I'm just so tired. I'm so tired of it, bro. For people that are, especially in the Arsenal fan base, and are completely dismissing or trying to minimize the impact that reffing decisions have had on our season, I don't think you're in your right mind personally, bro. I don't think you're putting things in full context. I get it. There are obviously things that Arteta could have done better, and I agree on a certain extent, but it's the emphasis with which people place a lot of these things and not put them in proper context and give them the proper weights that I think are appropriate, and many people out there do think are appropriate. And they just go let it to their head to run their agenda. They just want to run their narrative, bro. And it's the thing that really, it annoys me, man. It annoys me because you want to see things through your rose-tinted glasses and not look at a lot of what's reality and a lot of what isn't just affecting us. What's affecting the rest of the league, part and parcel, except for, you know, maybe one or two teams. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to name names, but it's crazy to see how on many different scales, even everybody, I'm not even going, everybody's been affected by it in one way or another. The inconsistency, the incompetence, there has to be better. There has to be better. That's all I have to say on that. But shout out to the team that put in an effort today. Shout out to Mikel Merino as well, bro. That's my striker playing midfielder, bro. Playing out of position, man. That's my guy. You know what I mean? But shout out to him as well. Warrior shift today. But yeah, did his thing. But Tuesday. That's the one. Nothing left to be said, man. Let me know what you guys thought about the game in the comment section below. But I'm going to start loading up all the Michael Irvin quotes from right now. This has been Full-Time Trip. That's been all the time we got. But yeah, peace out, man. COYG!